remove this little rubber mud flap trim thingamabob. Just kind of get in there, trim off the ends, disconnect the battery. Hold the slider towards the pinch rail. Hello, my rover friends, and welcome to the Lucky8 channel. Today, I'm going to show you how to install a set of Proud Rhino Rock Sliders on a Discovery 5. And what a Discovery 5. We have a very rare orange Disco 5. The sliders are going to look great. I can't wait to install them. Cue the intro. Okay, the first thing we want to do is remove this little rubber mud flap trim thingamabob. It is held on with 5. They really want it on there. 5 8mm head bolts, 3 across the bottom, 2 from the back. You out there in internet land are asking why this isn't on the lift. The reason it's not on the lift is because I am doing it in the driveway with you. If you took it to a shop, you're probably not going to watch this video. So I'm going to show you where the screw heads are. We're going to get this little rubber trim off and we can move to the next step. Here's the little rubber trim piece. 1, 2, 3 on the bottom. These are going to be harder to see, but one is right there and the other one is a little further back. We'll get those off. Next up, we want to pull this trim out at the bottom here. Just gently, that's all you need. We're trying to free up this little plastic trim piece. That's what's got to come off in order for the sliders to fit. Don't slam the door because you'll end up breaking the clips, so just gently leave it that way. Next up, we need to remove this little trim panel here. It is held on with another 8 on the bottom. 8mm head bolt. Little screw jobby. And then gently pull it back. There's little plastic clips in there. We're trying to save them. We don't want to break them. Boom. Perfect. Next thing we want to do is get this little plastic trim piece off. In order to do that, we got to remove a bunch of these little plastic clips on the bottom. They're the little style, I don't know what they're called. They're compressed like that. When the pin goes through, ooh, I ripped my glove. When the pin goes through, it opens up the plastic. So we get our favorite popper tool underneath the top of it and just gently separate it like so. Once the pin comes down, the little plastic piece will come out. I'll show you under there where they're located. We're gonna get these off and basically we just pull the panel sideways. It's really easy from there. Here is the little plastic clips I'm talking about. They look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's actually 6 of them. The goal is to get your popper tool, kind of push up on the plastic, just get under the side of it like so, and separate the 2 clips. Once you've pulled it out, they'll basically fall out of the car. All right, I'm gonna get the rest of them out and we'll move to the next step. Next up, we need to get this plastic trim. The bottom's loose. You're gonna have to open both doors. I'm gonna leave this one closed or else you won't be able to see what I'm doing, but trust me, I did open the door to get it off. All right, loose panel, plastic trim tool. Just kind of get in there. And you can hear simple plastic poppers. Did one go? Let me see if I can pull one out. This is what they look like. They're just those little clips and then they'll snap back in place. We want to save these because you're going to reuse them. All right, I'm going to open that door, get this plastic trim piece off. Next up, we have to trim our plastic trim pieces. All right, this is how they sit on the car. We need to remove this section. So basically, straight line here to there. I get out my paintbrush, AKA the Sawzall, follow the white line and remove that plastic. You can do it with the Dremel tool, X-Acto knife, I guess, if you got a lot more time than I do. It's really not that hard. I suggest marking it like this. Makes it easier to cut. I'm gonna get mine cut and we'll move to the next step. With the center section cut out like so, all we need to do, you better get back here. All we need to do is just trim off the ends and then these will be complete. Okay, when it's all done and trimmed, it should look like this, nice and straight. That way, when we go to clip it on, the face of the rock slider won't interfere. All right, let's get moving on to the next step. Next up, we gotta remove the little debris fiber boards that are on the underside of the disco. I'm cheating a little bit, I know, but I want you guys to actually have a good view instead of me just rolling around on the floor with the camera. I guarantee you, especially if you got this up on little ramps, you're gonna be able to get to these. So let's take a look. I'll show you exactly where they are and then we'll pull them off. Right here is the fiberboard. That's what we're trying to remove. And if we come over here, there's another one on this side. They are held in with a bunch of little washers like this. Actually, I'll show you a picture of how many, because I can't remember off the top of my head as I'm under here, but there it is on the screen. That's all the stuff that you're trying to remove. So we're gonna go through, we're gonna take them all out. That way we can get the fiberboard down and expose these little studs. That's what's gonna be in our way, so we gotta get rid of those. Next up, I recommend getting a pair of vice grips. All the little studs that are coming down holding that fiberglass board on, they're the ones held in with the washer and nut combo. We need to crack those studs off. That way the rock slider can lay flat against the bottom of the vehicle. If you don't, the slider won't bolt in place. So I think there's what, 6 on each side. We're gonna pop those off and then we can move to the next step. All right, we are almost to the good part. There's 2 things you need to do first. 1, disconnect the battery. Why? Because there is a 12-volt bus system that runs on the underside of the Rover, and we don't want to have any chance of shorting the rock slider out on the bus system. Everything under there is pretty tight and compact, so we want to make sure that the rock slider goes in the exact place. But if there is an incident or something slips or shifts, you don't want to short out on the bus system. Take the 5 seconds to disconnect the battery. Second thing is the rock slider won't fit in place if you don't trim this little piece of plastic. It'll make you mentally be down there fighting with it. So we want to trim the plastic, then we can move on to installing the slider. The little plastic piece we have to trim is it's right there. I'm going to show you from the underside so you can see what you need to trim, and then we can get these sliders on. There's the plastic trim that goes under the door. There is a little hole that was used to hold in one of the clips. We are just gonna trim it like that. The rock slider fits right down this seam and the plastic will stop it from going up. So leave it like so, make a mark, trim it, make it go away. Next up, we want to get the rock sliders under the disco. I'm using the lift because I have it here, but you can use 2 floor jacks, one if you're really good. Balance it on the floor jacks and then gently pick it up. You want to align the outriggers, which are these tubes, to their mounting location. Gently put in the Allen. I use an extension and just kind of run it up. Start it, do not tighten them down. Get one started, go to the back, get that one in, and then you can push up the sides so we can get our 4 other mounting locations. Once all the bolts are in, tighten it up. I'm gonna put this on, pick the car up in the air, and then give you guys a little closer look. All right, we've got the slider up in the air to make it easier for you guys to see. There are the 2 front locations that hold the slider towards the pinch rail, and then the outrigger, which is the ones I recommend doing first. You'll put all of the bolts in relatively loose so you can get everything aligned. This is what I use, a little extension, number 8 socket, and then the Allen, and simply kind of weave it up through, find the bolt location, gently start it. The car is aluminum, so if you caveman it, you're gonna cross thread the bolts. Don't do that, take your time, and you'll be able to move the slider a little left, a little right, front and back, to also make sure that these bolts are going in straight. That's pretty much the job. We're gonna bring it down, get the rest of the plastic on, and have a final look. On to the little trim piece that goes on the side here. We've got an interference issue with the structure on the rock slider. What I do is I put it up like so. I mark it. You don't wanna cut past, see this little hole? We don't wanna cut over there. You're gonna cut right about there. I'll mark it with my paint pen, get my paintbrush out, chop, chop, and then we'll get that installed so we can move on to the next step. And just like that, the rock sliders are on. They look absolutely amazing. And you're saying to yourself, internet, why is the car on the lift? That's because we're gonna do a hidden winch install video next. Be sure to follow for more Rover content.